I'm Veronica Barron, and I am very honored to have been here in residence for the last several weeks. Thank you all for coming to this showing of the work so far. So I've been doing creative research, building from other work that I've done previously involving dance, shadow theater, object theater, and music. And so what we're going to show you today is the result of 2 weeks of workshop, creative research in the lab. We'll be speaking through it, and you're not going to see a polished performance. You're going to see sort of some of our favorite ideas and my favorite ideas that we have made, and images and things like that. And so this is the result of 2 weeks of creative research, and then 1 week of like delicious inspiration of the Casteliers Festival, which was the beginning of the residence. So that's what's happening today. Louise, do you want to say anything? Or translate into French or anything like that?
No, does everybody understand English?
Yes. Ça va.
Mais c'est une joie de t'accueillir, Véronica, et puis merci beaucoup d'ouvrir ton atelier comme ça et de présenter ton travail. C'est très, très apprécié et je suis contente qu'il y ait beaucoup de monde. C'est merveilleux, c'est déjà un signe que la MIAM opère. Alors, bienvenue, and just to tell you this morning, I got a message from Diego Ugalde, who we received last year as a resident. He's from Mexico, so I got a letter from him this morning, so I think it's very... So, all the best.
Great. Okay, so...
Can I just say 2 weeks is the whole work. What we're showing is 3 days and a couple of hours here and there. So it's a little bit, it's a compilation of 2 days.
Yes, I should say...
no pressure.
So, as I said, the first week of the residence was spent taking in all the delicious treats of the Casteliers and Ouf festivals. The second week, I spent 3 of those days working with an ensemble of women, a group of whom are here today, to explore what kind of choreography is possible with a larger ensemble. I had previously done work only as a duo or single, so we were expanding the vocabulary of what's possible with more performers. And then 1 week, we'll do a transition in the middle to bring out this retro projector. I had been working with some shadow theater, but I had never had the opportunity to try a retro projector and adding layers to the shadow puppetry in that way. So this past week, I've spent both alone and with collaborators exploring the aesthetic language of the retro projector. So, so it's a little bit of work with different groups of people, and I think that's all that I have to say. Any questions?
This is half of the ensemble we work.
It's true. We had the luxury of 8 people, which was very exciting. Okay. Great. We begin. All right. So you will see, we're going to present 4 scenes of different lengths and different elements. You will probably see some elements that are similar in them as we're working. I've been working with the same themes, but so this is the first of the scenes. So, da-da-dum, dum, when I lay down, and then you're at down, da-da-da-dum. Thank you. Great. Here we go. When I lay down and rest, when I lay down in my funeral dress, don't want to have what I have, no regrets. When I lay Lights out, please. Lights up, please.
Oh, I am made weary. Won't you carry me? I dread the day when I must married be. I do not wish always to be alone, neither to be
tell you a few reflections about things I've learned during this residency. One is that I really appreciate that because this is a creative research residency, this is really fun. The thing that I feel I have, thanks, Laughlin. I think in a world where we think about knowing as something that you do only in your head and in your mind, I'm reminded of the thing that I already know but need to be reminded again and again, which is that what you do with objects and what you do with your body and what you do with your voice and other people are also forms of knowing and forms of thinking. And it has been a real treat to be in this extended period in which I have had the sense that to do my best thinking and discovery, it requires all of those things, which include all of those external things of body, voice, writing, other people, vision, and like visual language, and that all of those are ways of knowing, because all of those are things that unfold truth. And I think I often believe that I somehow should know in my mind before I begin, but I have really had the opportunity to sit at length with the fact that if I already know, then what is it that I'm looking for, you know? Like, if you think you already know, then there's nothing to find. And I think if you are in that sensibility of looking to find something, that is really, I'm just reminded of how important it is to enter work with that space of discovery and curiosity. Look at that, we made a transition. Okay, so we're going to do another little sketch. Let's see here. Do we have any? If I may press through you for a moment. All right, so that last section that you saw was a little bit, multiple scenes kind of put together in one. This next thing you're going to see is just a short sketch of an idea that I just was working with in the last couple of days. So you'll see some different levels of development, even with everything being very open and in development. So let's see here. Oh, yeah, I think we're done.
Okay.
Yeah, so we clear one. Okay. Okay. So, it is now time for a room transition. So this table is going to come forward, and you are all going to come forward as well. So, let's see. Yeah, could I get everyone to actually just come forward and stand to the sides for a moment, and then we'll move the table.
Can you take photos?
Oh! I almost unplugged all the right plugs. I thought I unplugged the right plugs, and then I just didn't take them off the table. Okay, there we go. Crisis averted. Okay, a little further back. Okay. So, Maria, that's right. Thank you. And great. So for this next section, and also, so other reflections on how this process has been. One thing I have noticed is that it's really helpful to integrate with other people. This seems very obvious, but it was a solo residency, right, where it's just me coming here to Montreal to do work. But what I have noticed is that there are so many different ways to connect with others, even when you are doing your own work, and then actually your own work becomes very enmeshed with the people that you collaborate with. So I have had the opportunity to really notice, one, that sometimes you get to work with a big group of people and everyone is generously adding their ideas and you're all creating together. Sometimes I have been working one-on-one with someone. That's a different dynamic than a big group. And then I've also just noticed how nice it is to, how essential it is as a creator to also just like have conversation with people. Like it's been wonderful to just like have lunch or coffee with people. Which sounds, I feel like that sometimes to me sounds very like superfluous or like for your leisure, but I have found that it is really helpful to the creative process as well. And then also just working in this building where I get to go upstairs and have lunch with people in the middle of the day and then come down and do my solitary work. It has just been really striking to me how essential the contributions of others are to like energize me and bring me hope and creativity and spirit and all of those things. And so in keeping with that, I think that one of the most important pieces of French vocabulary that I have learned is essayant. So like, je sais, but also essayant. So I feel like both are needed. So thank you all for helping with making that happen in this room. So now I would like to try, we will try. I don't know if this will work, but you are kindly here to be the public. And for this next section, you can stay back there, but also you're invited to, so we're going to do some work with the retro projector and with some different layers to the picture. So I would like to invite you to sit on this level or behind or even to the sides. But just if you come up here to sit on the floor so that you're not in the picture. And then maybe afterward you can tell me if it worked. I'm curious about, with a multi-layered picture, is it interesting for the public to view it from different angles? So if you'd like to come and sit here, you may. And we'll do two more pieces with the retro projector, and then we will retire to cookies and such. So. Good idea. See, like I said, we need a week. Lights, yes, thank you. So for this next song, this one is, so the music you heard in the first section was original music that I wrote. This one is also an original song. It has lots of lyrics. So for anyone, but the main things to know about the song and the story of the song is that it's a murder ballad. So it tells the story of a murder that takes place with a lot of imagery of blood and hands and guilt and those things. So, and this one I will sing it, but I might have to stop and start because I'm still working on doing the pictures and singing at the same time. So, just say.
I once knew a man. He earned the bread it took to feed his hungry body with his body and his hands. And all the while his heart beat with red blood. Across the way a second man. Oh, you could tell that gold had often passed right through his hands. And I believe it seeped into his blood. Oh, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. Well, now each worked his land. Some years they both did well, some years the weather made it hell for any man. But the golden man never lost his glow. Oh, the way that he'd stand. He seemed to occupy the volume of his body in a way that held command. And I believe his arteries and veins, they flowed with gold instead of blood. And the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. One night the red-blooded man, after his crop had failed, well, he let out an anguished wail, and oh, it ran deeper than his teeth, skin, marrow, or bones. He went to the golden man, said, everything you do, I do it too, but all my soil turns to sand. And I believe that you've seen nothing but gold. Oh, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. Thus replied the golden man, oh, I work real hard the same as you, though I've been lucky to receive a hand. And I've been given gifts where you receive loans. Everybody shakes my hand, but my father's fathers got their gold. They bought and sold things that were not theirs to command. And when I think I'm sick down to my bones, because the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. Replied the red-blooded man, I thought that I could be someday the same as you. I see now that I can't. but I also see that neither can you. And although he had never planned to take another's life, he gave a cry and took his knife into his hand. And his blade was sharp, sharp, swift and true. Oh, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. No, the blood, you can't wash away the blood. The blood. Oh, my friends, I don't know what to say of the way injustice digs inside a man. A man deeper than his teeth, skin, marrow, or bone. But I do understand. From this sad tale I sing, it seems that justice ain't a thing you can demand. Demand, though you can feel it deep, deep down in your blood. And, okay, there's one more, yeah.
Who is going to film?
Can I ask? Let's see, Isabel, would you operate this very fancy iPhone camera? What do you want us to see? The hands?
Un peu de nous, puis un peu l'écran.
Whoop.
Uh-oh.
Part of the show. It is now. Julia to the rescue. Merci.
Okay.
Flashlight.
There's one just at the back there.
Perfect, thank you. It's really important to have the flashlight you want. You know. Okay. As we transition, I guess I'll say one other thought, or maybe two, about one thing that I would just like to say. I have really, much in the spirit of what I was saying before, with my important vocabulary of essayant. I have found that the puppeteer community here in Montreal has been incredibly generous, and that has really enriched and inspired my own creativity, and it also inspires me to want to go back home to Boston, where I live, with a greater spirit of generosity. So I would just like to say, since to reflect back to you what I've experienced of being here in Montreal in this community, is an amazing amount of people who are willing to just say okay, let's try, and then show up and contribute really generously with wonderful ideas and contributions and creative spirit, and that is something that is really special and that I have really been enriched by. So thank you all for that. All right, are we ready? Great.
Music?
Thank you.
We're going to try this with music. We've never tried it with music, but we're going to try it.
Okay.
we ready, Pablo and Elise?
Yeah.
Great.
20 miles to the show. Hello, my old country. Hello. Stars are just beginning to appear, and I have never in my life been here. And it's my heart, not me, who cannot drive, at which conclusion you may arrive. Watching me sit bolt upright and pride for no good reason at the eastern sky. And the tilt of this strange nation, and the will to remain for the duration, waving the flag, feeling it drag like a bump on a log, baby, like an infant's fight with the fog, baby, step ball change and a pirouette, and I regret how I said to you, honey, just open your heart when I've got trouble even opening a honey jar. And that right there is where we are. And I've been passing double fast, addressing questions nobody asked. I'll get this joy off of my chest at last, and I will love you till the noise is long since past. And I did not mean to shout, just drive, just get us out, dead or alive. A road too long to mention, Lord, it's something to see, laid down by the good intentions, paving company. All the way to the thing we've been playing at, darling. I can see that you're wearing your staying hat, darling. For the time being, all is well. Won't you love me for a spell? This is blindness beyond all conceiving, while behind us the road is leaving and leaving and falling back like a rose on slack. Well, I saw straight away the lame mistake, but I fell for you, honey, as easy as falling asleep. And that right there is the course I keep. And all about the talking is gonna soften the fall, but like after the rain, step out from the overhang, that's all. It had a nice ring to it when the old Opry house rang. So the Solomon lamb sang, sealed, delivered, I sang. And there is hesitation, and it always remains concerning you, me, and the rest of the gang. And in our quiet hour, I feel I see everything, and I'm in love with the hook upon which everyone hangs. And I know you meant to show the extent to which you gave a goddamn. Your rain's real hot and real cold, but I'm so I am home on the range. And I do hate to fall right here at the top of my game, when I've been trying with my whole heart to stay right here in the right lane. But it can make you feel all over. Lord, please know it's a shame when I only want for you to feel over me, so I give you like a bump on a log. Baby, like I'm in a fist fight with the fog. Baby, step up, change and a pirouette. And I regret how I said, yeah, honey, just open your heart when I got trouble, even opening a honey jar. And that right there is where we are. And I've been passing double fast, addressing questions nobody asked. This fear I've got my chest last, and I will love you till the noise is long since past. And I did not mean to shout, just cry, just get outside, get already live. The road too long to mention, but it's something to see, laid down by the good intentions, paving company. All the way to the thing we've been playing at, darling. I can see that you're wearing your staying hat, darling. For the time being, all is well. Won't you love me for a spell? This is blindness beyond all conceiving, while behind us the road is leaving and leaving and falling back like a rope gone slack. Well, I saw straight away the lane was steep, but I found reality as easy as falling asleep. And that right there is the course I keep. And no amount of talking is gonna soften the fall. But like after the rain, step out from the overhang, that's all. It had a nice ring to it when the old Opry house rang. So with a solemn old lang syne, sealed, delivered, I sang. And there is hesitation, and it always remains concerning you, me, and the rest of the gang. And in our quiet hour, I feel I see everything, and I'm in love with the hood upon which everyone hangs. And I know you meant to show an extent to which you gave a goddamn. You ranged real hot and real cold, but I'm slow. I am home on the range. And I do hate to fall right here at the top of my game, when I've been trying with my whole heart and soul to stay right here in the right lane. But it can make you feel the over and over. Lord, you know it's a shame when I only want for you to pull over and hold me till I can't remember my own name.
Standing back up.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
We have the cheese.
We do have.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have that.
All right, could I ask everybody, everybody who performed with me today, to just come on up here and we can do a little bow? So, thank you so much, all of you beautiful collaborators. thank you all for being here to witness this work in its very early phases. We're going to step out to the next room and have some cookies and tea. As you can see, all of this work is in a research phase where I am excited to spend another week here and then go back to Boston to put some shape to what this material can become. And I'm very excited to do that, full of creative inspiration from this time so far. I guess the last thing that I would like to say about what I have learned about my own creative process is that it's really important to have the phase where you prepare and you have your ideas and your sketchbook and you drink your coffee and you're thinking about it. Then there's the phase where you do the stuff, which is extremely fun. And then there's the phase where you reflect on it and shape it and you make order out of it. And that takes time. So like I said, I'm very excited to have this coming week, but also to take it back home with me to ripen into whatever it will become. So any of your thoughts and feedback or just what it made you think about, what it made you feel is very welcome at this stage. And thank you all again so much for coming to take a peek at the work. Let's have some cookies. Thank you all once again, the collaborators, but also thank you once again so much to the MIAM and the Casteliers for hosting me, to the wonderful staff here whose energy has lifted my spirits every single day that I come into the building and made me feel like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I'm gonna have a wonderful day in the lab because there's just this beautiful energy in this building, and I am so grateful to have been able to meet and work with all of you and to be welcomed so generously by all of you. So thank you.
Come back.
I will.